Hello to you all, Millie Lloyd, hope everyone is having a good day. It's Old School Gamer 1971 with my top 10 for remasters and remakes. If you would, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Spread the word. This makes the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Post your list down below in the comments, I look forward to reading them. So my number 10, Dragon's Dogma Darkness Arisen, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by Capcom. From the first time I played this, I thought this was such a good game. When I played it on the PlayStation 4, it felt like it was a Witcher 3 light. That, and it had to be my very next platinum. It's a game that is totally underrated. I think it was just released at the wrong time. That and not enough promotion. Back when I platinumed this, one of my earliest YouTube videos, I enjoyed that final speedrun to platinum so much. And whilst it isn't as long as The Witcher 3 say, I still think this holds its head up damn well. In fact, it's easier to get into and to control, with massive dragons, monsters, creatures and ogres, as well as animals and humanoids. The remaster has a better draw distance, textures, and it is faster. The frame rate is now better. Not so many drops when the action gets hectic. For me, this is one of the best RPGs I played on the PlayStation 4 and hope to one day play a sequel. And I don't mean that monstrosity, that MMO sequel that came out a little while ago. I mean a proper sequel. My number 9, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014, was developed by Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal. This was one of my favourite franchises for years. The original Tomb Raider was one of the most needed remakes ever. Yes, I get that it got remade before with the Anniversary Edition. Like it or loathe it, it is a thing. To me, it was not a great version of the game. So, this, however, was a fantastic remake. Let's go back a moment to the original. It blew me away the first time I played it on the original PlayStation, and now it was finally getting the reboot it deserved. We have to remember the original was just that, it was original. It was out of the ordinary for games at that time. Now the remake wasn't. You know, there's a lot of competition out there now, but it was really polished. They took it in a whole new direction. I won't compare the games directly. It's 3 console generations ago, over 20 years ago now. With a much improved draw distance, excellent character models, and an amazing start to the trilogy. A younger Lara. This is her journey into becoming her moniker, in essence becoming the Tomb Raider. The cutscenes look outstanding, and then we got the PlayStation 4 version, where they up the ante in almost every single department. It is a game that deserved a remaster to the reboot or something like that. Basically, the best just got better. Just as long as no one mentions Uncharted. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. My number 8, GTA 5, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Rockstar. This game is like my personality in a way, made up of 3 parts. The Franklin, that is young and ready to take on the world. Michael, the family man that wishes he was younger but with all of his worldly knowledge. And Trevor, the man I am 95% of the time in the game and unfortunately outside of it too. It is also the character I have to play while doing crazy stuff. Or is that just me? In a way, Rockstar takes the piss out of other developers. For the longest time, they set the standard and others will then have to play catch up. Now, for me at least, Ubisoft are starting to catch up that little bit quicker. Rockstar still, however, hold that bar very high. GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3 was damn impressive, but GTA 5 on the PlayStation 4 was a whole other beast. It was improved in every department, and even with all the open world offerings on PlayStation 4, it's only really 2018 when it was finally beaten in my opinion. Then Rockstar just released Red Dead Redemption 2 to put that bar even higher. Back to GTA 5, the remaster has a better draw distance, smoother frame rate and first person, which was planned for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions, but the older consoles could just not handle it. So it made it worth buying all over again. Everything is just so much tighter. It was good on PlayStation 3, but it is great on the PlayStation 4. So my lucky number 7, Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was developed by Naughty Dog and Bluepoint. Okay, so 3 of the best reasons to own a PlayStation 3 became a necessity to own on the PlayStation 4. For anyone who's been living under a rock for the last 2 generations, these 3 games are in amongst the best action adventures on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4. They set the standard for the PlayStation 3 in both graphics and gameplay, each one up the ante in both visuals and action stakes. So when the final entry into the Uncharted series, with Nathan Drake anyway, was on its way, some genius worked out that they could release the original trilogy and make a lot of money. So this history lesson was released onto the PlayStation 4. By the way, I think the new Uncharted, should they choose to do it, should begin with Nathan and family at Sully's funeral. Nathan should be older and become his daughter's mentor like Sully was to him in a whole new Uncharted series. But anyway, back to the compilation. This proved to be a very prosperous idea. With many new PlayStation owners, this was a whole new experience for them, and also purchased by gamers who had experienced the games on the PlayStation 3. For those who haven't played the series, go out and get it right now. All 3 games are greatly improved. It runs so much smoother, it looks amazing, and certainly it's fun as hell to play. The set pieces make it like a movie. Rockstar and Naughty Dog are trailblazers, and their games are always day one purchase, for me at least. Oh, and Jolien, if you do not own this, get it. It is a living, breathing Indiana Jones game. So my number 6, Valkyria Chronicles Remastered, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Sega and Media Vision. This to me proves how good Sega is. The game is like Hogs of War, unfortunately minus Rick Mayall, RIP, but with more role-playing elements. It is a turn-based strategy RPG. Now when the first was underwhelming sales-wise, it was underrated and deserving of so much more praise. But because of this, the second and third game never made it to these shores. So this PlayStation 4 version was totally unexpected. With a mixture of the Great War and a flavouring of Roman history, it is a pretty good premise, being honest. To me, it's the human stories that make this game, however. That during the war, life still goes on, but the PlayStation 4 version, the improvements are evident. The draw distance, textures and animation are all improved. I just hope that we get the second and third entries as a double pack on the PlayStation 4 one day. This is a game that I can recommend wholeheartedly, as there is nothing even close to this on the PlayStation 4 except for Valkyria Chronicles 4. So on to my number 5, The Last of Us Part 1 Remastered, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Naughty Dog. The Last of Us Part 1 Remastered is the game that I use when some idiot says to me, "You're a gamer, but that's a kid's toy." The beginning is just jaw-dropping and emotional. I mean hard-hitting. It's one hell of a game. Anyone who has played this on PlayStation 3 was pretty much blown away by it. Storytelling is off the scale on this game. The game looked amazing, and then it got announced that it was being remade or remastered for the PlayStation 4, and people were like, why remake this game? It's hardly gonna look any different. Man, how wrong was everyone else but me? It went from looking great to outstanding. Everything was just better, it looked better, its controls were tighter, draw distance, textures and animation were all just improved noticeably. Even today I still think that this is one of the best games on PlayStation 4, and that opening and ending rank amongst the best ever. And you know what? You know the little bit of stuff in the middle? Ain't too shabby none neither. So on to my number 4, Resident Evil, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was developed by Capcom. Right, I have to be honest here, it's still a confessional. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My child, what have you done now? Father, until last October I loved Resident Evil, the original one. I had in fact avoided the remake. My child, that is one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt love Resident Evil as you dost lovest thy Mario or Sonic. But then, last October, Sister Pen taught me into playing the remake. My child, sometimes one must experience the bad to truly enjoy the good. Affirmation. Father, I have grown to love the remake more. You filthy little heathen! How could you besmirch the good name of the original Resident Evil? Father, I don't care. All this Resident Evil remake goodness. Heathen, leave me to my contemplation. It has taken me until now to accept the fact that I still love the original, but this is the better version, both of the GameCube and Resident Evil game overall. Before October last year, this wouldn't have even got a look in. It would not have been on this list at all, because I thought in no way could it measure up to the original, and I admit it, boy was I wrong. In every way this game was an improvement. I do wish it had the original voiceover available to use, or else even maybe an original version of the game cut down on the rooms. But graphically it still looks good now, with more rooms and whole new areas, new puzzles, expanded storyline. It is almost like a whole new experience. The mansion has never looked better, and I do think that Capcom are doing an exceptional job of remastering their back catalogue with a quality that is just outstanding. To me, Resident Evil will always hold a special place in my heart, and now it has a bunkmate who goes on the top bunk. So give the remake a chance, cause it might just surprise you with how good it really is. So we made it to my top 3. At number 3, Crash Insane Trilogy came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017, developed by Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions and Iron Galaxy. These games took me to the PlayStation 2 to really start appreciating what these games brought to the table. By the time the PlayStation 4 rolled around, I never knew how much I needed this game remastering until Sean Layden took to the stage to announce the trilogy at E3. Still, I didn't know fully until I played it. Then it becomes clear. But what the game gives us is proof of how much newer games and ourselves have become lazy in gaming. Because as much as I would love to say I will go and play the originals to prove it's all the game's fault, now I can't be the only one, because if it really was that, you'd see a lot of YouTubers with gameplay comparisons to prove their prowess at the original, and how they keep messing up on the remake. I can't see all those videos. This is a great game. It shows you what the game could be, and yes, I get the fact that they change how the detection works, oval shaped as opposed to square. Overall, the graphics are good, animation is good. In short, it is a good game and certainly is a challenge. So on to my penultimate entry. Spyro Reignited Trilogy came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Toys for Bob. After 10 minutes of playing Crash Insane Trilogy, I'm sure a few of the head honchos had a thought. Wouldn't it be good to sort of get Spyro out of the cupboard and dust him off? Once the game was finally in our hands, it was such a good game. It is gaming history and such a challenge. I do think that this and Crash Insane Trilogy are more challenging than many of the new releases today. They both look so good and the sound is great also. In fact, we have Medieval on the way and it's looking just as polished, just as good a quality as these games. This time round with Spyro, I found it so hard to put down, except for the flying sections. I'm just out of a practice, honest. But the main game I'm fine with, honest. I do think it's time for Sly Raccoon to get his kind of makeover. Please get these games in the meantime. They are great and are a challenge, and most of all, they are fun. My number one, Shadow of Colossus, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Bluepoint. I don't think any of us was prepared for how good this game was. The PlayStation 2 version was a little, shall we say, over-ambitious to say the least. It ran at 8 frames a second at best. In fact, some consoles it ran at only 6 frames a second. The gameplay is pretty much the same as it is today, except for only slower. Yes, I know we got the greatly improved PlayStation 3 version, but it was still nowhere near this. This game looks astonishing. The graphics and the effects make this game look the masterpiece it always deserved to be. The first time you play it, you cannot believe it's the same game. It is obvious that the programmers at Bluepoint really loved the original game. I am so happy that they left the story alone. The shadows, the light, the water, the horse and the colossi, even the first time you see the moonlight through the trees, there is nothing average in or about this game. Oh, and it's also a great game to play to boot. For me, it's the most improved and it deserved it. Never played it? Go and get it now. Have played it? Then you know how good this game truly is. Own this game as it is totally worth it. This is a video game that can only be described as art, and the story can only be described as epic. Well, that's about it for me today. If you like the list, there is plenty more content like this on my channel. Enjoy the rest of your day. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.